Hey guys, and welcome back to part 13 of this Bradford Road to Glory. In this series we try to win the FA Cup with Bradford City while only making signings based on data and only getting players in who are younger than 25 years old. In the last episode and in our first ever season in the Premier League we reached the 8th position, which meant that it gave us right to play in the Conference League. We're currently at January 1st, so in the January transfer window of our second season in the Premier League, and I'm going to show you how we did, if we make any signings, some youth intake, and probably also the end of this season to see how we did in our second season in the Premier League. Let's start off with the Premier League, and as you can see we're in 11th position, which isn't bad. It could just be a lot better, and that is because we're losing a lot of games which we shouldn't be losing. For example, against Burnley, Norwich and Bournemouth, we could have won those games pretty easily. I would say Norwich are in 13th and Burnley, like, they're really down there. Unfortunately, why we're doing so bad is probably because we also have to play in the Conference League, which means that our players have less time to rest. And as you can see, we're doing pretty good in the Conference League. We placed 15th, and I think of all the games we only drew 2 against Bodo Glimt and AS Monaco, and the rest of them we all won pretty comfortably with a backup team. As for the 2 cups, in the FA Cup we have been routed against Preston, which we should be able to beat fairly easily, and in the Carabao Cup against Manchester City at home would be very nice if we would manage to win this. Fulham or Everton are the ones who we will face in the final, and I think those are the easy ones. Manchester City is gonna be hard, but let's hope that we can beat them, that a miracle can happen, and that we can reach our first ever cup final. For now, I'll be simming through, I think, until the Brighton game, so I'll be simming through all of these games, so you'll also know how we already did in the Carabao Cup semi-final, first and second leg. Then I'll be also making some signings, hopefully some nice wonder kits to help us improve the team. So I'll see you in a bit. Hey, 93.5% of you are not subscribed to my channel yet. Please do consider subscribing, as it really helps me out a ton and it keeps me motivated to make more awesome content. With that out of the way, let's move on to the video. After the blip, here we are back again, and as you can see, in January we did insanely good, beating Arsenal, Everton, Leeds, West Ham and drawing Liverpool, where they just scored a 95th goal, so we really are picking it up. Unfortunately, we did lose in the Carabao Cup against Manchester City, just barely. They scored in the 96th minute and we scored in the 99th, so unfortunately didn't make it through, but it wasn't meant to be against City anyway. Preston we did beat 4-0 in the FA Cup, and we're now rooted against Bristol City in the 5th round, so let's see if we can get it pretty far into the FA Cup this season. As for the transfers in this window, we didn't really do that much. We did let go of 4 players. Syrian Slicker, who was a backup goalkeeper, sold him for 66k. Mark Helm, loaning him out for a pretty big fee, and also he might potentially be sold for 12 million to Sampdoria if they decide to do so. Let's hope that he gets sold, because he's not good enough to play in our team anymore. And also Matty Pollock, who we brought in on a free a couple seasons ago, left to West Brom for 500k. Malachi Boateng is leaving on a permanent deal for I think $500,000 at the end of the season and is currently being loaned out to Ostende. Then Elkan Baggett left for Albaqueta, who I think is in Spain, for 140k. Brought this guy in for 60k. He was a very good backup to have, but this season he barely played, or he didn't even play at all. And also Guilherme Montoya, who we brought in for a pretty cheap fee, and he was one of our best players in the championship, but after that he really fell off, so we decided to move him on a free to Nacional de Madeira in Portugal, where he's now playing. As well as the transfers out, we also brought in 2 wonder kids. First of them, Alexander Dordovic, 11.5 mil we paid for this guy, and you can see why. 90 determination, good physicals, good technicals already with 16 tackling, and is very versatile, can play on the left, right or center, and also insane potential and driven personality. Only 11 mil for this guy, and he can still be homegrown since he's 18 years old. Very happy with this signing. And then also Jack O'Brien. I'm not really convinced about this guy, but I just think he can do good. I don't like his aggression, because that means that he might be able to pick up a lot more red cards than I would like him to. But as a defensive midfielder, he could be very nice. 15 marking, 14 tackling, 17 teamwork, good physicals, big guy, 183 centimeters. So bought him in for 6 mil. Probably will be a replacement for Kane, but we'll see how that develops. After those signings, we have 2 mil left in the transfer budget, and also we have 90 mil in the overall balance. What is interesting about this is if we could go and take a look at the wages, you'll see that we're paying half of what Norwich is paying. We're still on the very low side of paying the wages, but that is really expected because we don't have the commercial income as well to back the wages up. Out of our 4 last games, we won 3 and drew 1, which means that we're currently in 9th position, which is very good for us. I am expecting to finish somewhere between 8th and 12th in this season, because the Conference League means that our players get tired a lot more. Anyway, I'm simming forward now. I'll probably be showing you some highlights of the season and the youth intake, and then I will be back once the season has ended. Almost at the end of the season, and our youth intake isn't that bad. Emmanuel O'Neill looking like a very good player, perfectionist personality, physical and mentally already very good. Technically could still improve, but hey, this guy, if he really improves, he could be a very good winger for us for finishing, so he's never going to really be a striker for us, but probably out on the wings he wouldn't be too bad. And other than that, we also have a Slovenian, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce. He also looks like he could really go far. His potential doesn't show that, but 18 natural fitness and 13 determination, if he changes his personality, might not be a bad player. Other than that, let me just show a few of these players, which I have already promoted to the under 21s, since it's a new team that we've gotten. And I am promoting all the good under 18 players to play for the under 21s, so we can slowly but surely fill it up. The second season in the Premier League and the 5th season in this series has officially ended. Let's take a look at the new arrivals, and I want to highlight 2 of them. One of them, Spike Bridge, played 50 games for us, 3.3 mil, and this guy is really becoming a Premier League goalkeeper. Very happy with him. Needs to improve a little bit more on his goalkeeping attributes, but I am very happy with him. And the same goes for Rick Beckema. Brought him in for 13.5 mil, scored 14 times, 10 assists in the Premier League this season. He's improving as well very nicely, so very happy to see him become a better player day after day. Then let's jump into the season's results. In the Premier League we have finished in 9th position, which isn't bad. Last season I think we finished 8th, so it's 1 position down, but hey, we also played in the Conference League. And right here you can see we have qualified for Europa League, but how are we even able to do that if we haven't finished in 8th and Bournemouth also haven't got European competition? Well, that is because we have won the UEFA Conference League, beating Monaco 6-0, and then in the final beating Bartolome, who is of course Napoli in the game, is very good. We didn't actually lose any games in the Conference League, which means that we're way too good for the Conference League, but hey, it's nice to win a title at least. And then for the FA Cup quarterfinals by Aston Villa, we could have won, and I think next season we're going to try to complete and really go for the goal of this series to get the FA Cup win in the pocket. Let's see if we can do it, if we get to upgrade our team a little bit more. For the ones of you who find it interesting, these are the finances. Sponsorship went up, broadcasting revenue a little bit down, corporate up, competition prize money up because of the Conference League, and matchday commercial also up. We're now earning 2 million in total merchandise sales, which is absolutely nothing for the Premier League. But hey, it doesn't matter. Even with a small budget, we did manage to even win the Conference League. The transfer budgets for the next season are going to be 52 million, which is the highest yet, and also 80k in the wage budget. We might be able to bring in some good youngsters to help us secure an FA Cup trophy. For the finances, our overall balance is 61 million, so I'm hoping that I could make one big sale and with that money bring in a lot more quality wonder kids. But hey, once again, it's just waiting to see if a Wonder Cup wants to join, and also if we can pay the right price. If we now take a look at Bradford City, you'll see we've won 1 FA Cup, 1 Sky Bet Championship, 1 Sky Bet League 1 and 1 English 3rd Division North, but we've also won a UEFA Europa Conference League, which is absolutely insane. Anyway, that's going to be all for this episode. In the next episode we're going into our 6th season with Bradford City, and we're going to really aim to try to win the FA Cup and to make the most of it. So we're not focusing on the league, we're not focusing on Europe, but we're focusing solely on the FA Cup. Anyway, once again I want to thank you for watching, I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next episode of this Bradford City Road to Glory. Take care.